Hello X-Web peeps, it's Dan, and I'm bringing you my first tool video. The tool is called the Airlift. It's anywhere from $125 to $135 online. What it does is it uses shop air to create a vacuum in your cooling system, and then that vacuum sucks the coolant into the cooling system without air pockets, without muss, without fuss, and hopefully no bleeding afterwards. And wow, wouldn't that be great if this really worked? And we're going to find out. Okay, so here's an overview of the tool. You get it in your typical blow molded case, and you have several major components. The major component here is the valve. Has a vacuum gauge on it, has a two-way valve, and it has a gizmo that you stick into your expansion tank neck. That's this part right here. You also get different adapters like this and like this. Oh, some other items that you get in the kit. You have the Venturi device, which is right here. That's what creates the suction using shop air, and a little hose for whatever liquid might actually be left in the cooling system. And here's the fill hose. It's a long hose with a screen on the end for sucking up your coolant, the new coolant going into the system. And of course the screen keeps debris out. And you have the valve right here, and that's how it goes in. And that's about it. And of course you have the instruction book too. Okay folks, the first task for using our device is our Airlift system is to lubricate the part of the main valve that goes into your expansion tank neck. And I just sprayed a little bit of silicone on a Q-tip, and I'm just swabbing it on there, as you can see. As in many areas of life, a little bit of lube works wonders. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to stroll over to the car. And we're going to insert the device into the neck of the expansion tank. A little bit of wiggle, a little bit of pressure. There we go. Okay, so we're in. And oh, by the way, that's one of Matt Brannon's reproduction stainless tanks. A little bit of polish on there. Looks beautiful. Great item. If you don't have one, you should get one. All right, now I have to stop the camera so I can tighten this. It's hard to do with one hand. So okay, we're back. I'll be back in a moment. And now you can see that it has been secured into the filler neck of the expansion tank. And now you can actually see the gauge itself. I'm not sure if that's going to show up too good. It's a vacuum gauge that goes up to 30, and the red part is goes to 20, and then the green part is 20 through 30. And I'll show you more about that here in a moment. So the next step is to connect our hoses and then connect shop air. So stand by for that. Okay, our next step is to take the Venturi device and connect it to the quick disconnect that's on the main valve here. The one thing you do have to add to the kit, it does not come with, is this standard 1/4-inch shop air nipple here. So I just had one handy, put it on there with some Teflon tape, and we're ready to rock and roll. It's a two-handed job, so stand by while I insert it. Alright, that's done. So the Venturi device is connected securely to the main valve. And the other end of it is just a clear hose, and it's just going to go into a handy-dandy pan that I had laying around. And the theory behind this is that when you apply shop air to the Venturi, it's going to create a vacuum. And if you had any liquid in the system, it would come out this hose. It just so happens that the system's been drained dry, so I don't anticipate any fluid whatsoever, or just the tiniest bit of fluid coming out of it. But we'll actually see when we do the job. Okay, the next step is to connect shop air, and stand by for that.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me over the racket. I got my little pancake compressor going. We got shop air. The Venturi is hooked up here. We have a little spill container here in case there's any fluid in the system. And now when we turn the valve, we're going to create a vacuum in the system. Okay, now we're creating that vacuum in the system. And I don't know if you can see the gauge because of the glare. But here we go. We're at 15. I'm assuming this is inches of mercury. And we're headed toward 20. We passed 20. And we're slowing down, but we're still creating vacuum. We're headed toward 25. We're getting there, we're getting there. We want to be around 25 according to the instructions. Okay, we're at 25 now. So I'm going to shut the valve. Notice it was a dry system, so we didn't have anything in our pan here. And I'm going to just cut off the air compressor, so stand by for that.
Okay, now that the racket is subsided, we're basically, according to the instructions, we're just basically waiting to see how good our system is. We're at approximately 25, I would assume, inches of vacuum. And the instructions say if it holds this for 20 to 30 seconds, that means you have a leak-free system. And it's looking pretty good right now. I'd really like to do this without glare, but it's just hard. Trust me, it's right in there. It's right in there. We're doing good. So we're just going to have a little bit of patience and see how well our system holds vacuum. And I'll be back. Well, here we are after about a minute and a half, and boy, we're just rock solid on that vacuum gauge. We are right in there. It's looking great. So our next step is going to be to change over our valve system from the Venturi to the fill valve. And that's, again, a two-handed job, so bear with me, and I'll be back.